my name's Don Flemons, as mentioned before, and I'm known as the American songster. And a songster is a musician who plays a lot of different types of numbers, and that's what I'm going to be doing for you this evening. First one is a song that I learned many years ago from an African-American fiddler by the name of Joe Thompson. And this is a song that was in his family's repertoire for a long time, one called Old Cindy Gal. Well, and I'll play a little bit of rhythm bones in case you're wondering what these are here. See if I can get those rhythm bones playing with these harmonicas all right. Oh, Cindy Gal, oh, Cindy Gal, where'd you stay last night? Oh, Cindy Gal, oh, Cindy Gal, oh, Cindy Gal, you done crossed through last night. Thank you so much, folks. Around 1,500. But, well, folks, I'd like to start all of my programs off with playing some of the oldest instruments in my repertoire. The first one, of course, was the rhythm bones. And on this next one, I'm going to play a little bit of this one here, known as the quills. They're also known as the panpipes, but the Americanized version are known as the quills. And I had the great fortune of getting to meet and getting to know one of the great advocates for old-time music, Mike Seeger, many years ago. And he got me hip to this instrument, the quills here. And one particular artist who specialized in playing the quills on 78 RPM records, a fellow by the name of Henry Ragtime Texas Thomas. And I'm going to play one of Henry Thomas's numbers called Charmin' Betsy. You might have heard some of Henry Thomas's stuff. He did a song called The Fishin' Blues, which Taj Mahal adapted years back. And he has another one, Bulldoze Blues, that Canned Heat used the melody of Bulldoze Blues, and they country, I do you wanna go? Well, I'm gonna play a little different one. You know, that's out of my territory. Those guys have done those numbers already. You know, I'll play one an old square dance number called Charmin' Betsy. And you know, this thing here, this ain't nothing but an old banjo. You know what that is. Play a little bit of Charmin' Betsy. If I can get this, you know, this advanced technology around my neck, if I can. Hold on now. It's bound sound to work at some point. Hold on. Home Depot let me down.
I'm going round the mountain, charming Bitsy. Going round the mountain to leave. If I never see you no more, do Lord remember me. The first time I seen charming Bitsy, want everything that she see. Last time I seen charming Bitsy, she wearing that ball and chain. Yes, I'm going round the mountain, charming Bitsy. Going round the mountain to leave. If I never see her no more, do Lord remember me. Now I'm going round the mountain, charming Bitsy. Going round the mountain to leave. If I never see her no more, do Lord remember me. Now charming Bitsy's going on down the line. Wine glass in her hand, going after her old man. She's all the very words she says she's gonna say. Oh my baby, take me back. I'm done well, Lord, take me back. Sunday morning, won't see wrong. You gonna call me, I'll be gone. She turned around 2 and 3 times, said my babe, take me back, take me back, take me back. Oh my babe, take me back. Make me one pal on your floor. Make me one pal on your floor. Oh, make a pallet soft and low. Won't you make it so your man will never know? Oh, make it so your man will never know. Make it so your man will never know. Oh, make a pallet soft and low. Won't you make it so your man will never know? 'Cause I'm looking for that bully of the town. Looking for that bully of the town. I'm looking for that bully can't be found. I'm looking for that bully, lay me down.
Thank you, folks. Now, the next song I'll play for you is a little bluegrass number here that I picked up a while back. This is one from the Monroe brothers, Bill and Charlie Monroe. They recorded this one way back. One called "Long Journey Home," and you know, this one's kind of a sing-along. I found that people like singing this one. You know, I always try to pick songs that, you know, especially in the sing-along, you need something that's easy for people to relate to and join in on. You know, this one has a chorus that goes, "I lost all my money, but a $2 bill." And, you know, I found that seems to resonate with people a whole bunch, you know. I recently, well, you know, a couple of months back, I did a show with some kids, you know, at a school. And I saw that they were shaking their heads on a $2 bill, and they were like, don't know what a $2 bill is, you know. But I'm old enough to remember back when they had the $2 bills in circulation with Thomas Jefferson right on the bill, you know. And you know, I can't help but think of old TJ when I sing this next number here. You know, he helped legitimize this instrument, the banjo, just a little bit. He put one of the first proclamations out through Congress saying that the banjo is an African instrument. It was brought over with the slaves many years ago. And so if we can sing out that chorus, we're going to see if we can whip this one up a little bit. Long Journey Home.
Black smoke arising, it surely is a train. Surely is a train, Lord, it surely is a train. Black smoke arising, it surely is a train. I'm on my long journey home, 'cause I lost all my money but a $2 bill. A $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home. I'm homesick and lonesome, I'm feeling kinda blue. Feeling kinda blue, Lord, I'm feeling kinda blue. Homesick and lonesome, I'm feeling kinda blue. I'm on my long journey home, 'cause I lost all my money but a $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill, yeah. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home, oh. I lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. I lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home. Oh, I lost all my money but a $2 bill, Lord. I lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home.
All right. Thank y'all for singing out on that one. You know, I started out playing music. It was pretty, I don't know, simple enough. Like a lot of people, I just fell in love with a lot of different songs, and I started learning to play the guitar. And then I had the opportunity to start doing it professionally, and I thought that was a funny thing. I think back of when I was in Central Phoenix, just busking on the streets in 100-degree weather. It always makes me kind of smile to think that I was able to get somewhere with it. You know, appreciate it. And you know, one of the great venues I'd been able to get to play several times was the Grand Ole Opry, which is always a treat to be there. And you know, when I was there the last time around, which was New Year's Day before last, I was able to be over at the Ryman Auditorium and got to play with Old Crow Medicine Show, and the Opry came down and joined us. And I got to play one of the songs that I wrote about Nashville, Tennessee, East Nashville, Tennessee, and a particular place known as Prince's Hot Chickens. Anybody ever had hot chicken before? All right, well, okay, we got one or two that said they're survivors, you know. And no, this is a Nashville thing. Now you can find it all over the country, actually. Now, you know, I ain't gonna take a claim for it, but you know, before then, you could only find it in one neighborhood. And for folks that don't know, it's a fried chicken dish that's made with cayenne powder. So right in the batter, And then what makes it so special is that it's rolled around in cayenne powder afterward, too. So it's like twice baked potatoes, but with heat, you know? And so, you know, when you get the extra hot, it's said to bring on hallucinations even, it gets so hot, you know? And, you know, I just had the medium, and it left such an impression on me that I had to write this very next number, one called Hot Chicken for you. So, 1, 2.
Rooster run the mother hen, said cock-a-doodle-doo. Mother hen, say you darn old fool, my fricassee ain't for you. You wanna get hot chicken, you wanna get hot chicken, 'cause if you want hot chicken, East Nashville, Tennessee. Jackrabbit run the Gila monster, run him a solid mile. That Gila monster turned around and said, hey bub, you know this running ain't my kind of style. You wanna get hot chicken, you wanna get hot chicken, 'cause if you want hot chicken, East Nashville, Tennessee. Young man knocked on the window glass, old man give him the eye. He said, boy, you done had your fun with my wife, now quit knocking on my blinds and go and get your hot chicken. Don't mistake of a hot chicken, don't do it. 'Cause where you gotta go, East Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah! Go ahead and get a little 6. Old man laid his fiddle down, wine glass in his hand. He said, times has gotten so damn hot that I can't no longer dance. I gotta get me hot chicken. Doctor suggested hot chicken, yeah. 'Cause where am I gonna go? East Nashville, Tennessee. Little frog hopped by my feet, big tear in his eye. Said, I can't believe my own true love told me to hop on by. Said, get hot chicken. He said, I think she suspected it. Where's she gonna hop to? East Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, baby, I'm gonna get hot chicken, hot chicken, the hot chicken, hot chicken, the hot chicken, hot chicken. Oh, now hot chicken, yeah, hot chicken now. You've been listening to WDOM coming at you from East Nashville, Tennessee. Where we ain't got no neck bones, ain't got no chitlins in the pot. All we got here is the chicken that's awfully hot. Way down in East Nashville, Tennessee, come and see us sometime. We sang, we sang, we sang, we sang. I'm gonna get hot chicken, hot chicken, hot chicken, hot chicken, the hot chicken, hot chicken. Whoa, now hot chicken, yeah, hot chicken. Needle, needle, beetle, bomb. That's the beauty of live entertainment, folks. 50-50 chance on that one. Thank you so much, folks, you know. Sometimes you gotta laugh just to keep from crying sometimes. Now this, I'm gonna slow it down on this next one here. Play a little song. He's probably working on the disco lights there, but it's all right though, so you know. I can get it.
You got the disco light on.
Appreciate that. All right, well, we're going to slow it down on this next one here, folks, and play a little number called Too Long I've Been Gone. This is a song I wrote about traveling, and for the past decade I have traveled about 100,000 miles every year presenting traditional folk songs for folks all over the world. One of the things you find out very quickly when you're traveling on the road is that you can't stop, and it's constant forward motion. And so this is a song I wrote when I thought about that once. A lot of people ask me, they say, you know, how do you not go crazy doing all the traveling all the time, being away from home and loved ones? And I just don't think about it. That's the easiest way to go about it, you know. But this is a song I wrote when I did once, just once. Don't need no cup of coffee in the morning. I can get up fine. Delia is a pretty girl, but she ain't mine. Take a little trip to the station. I'm bound to go. When I'll see my lover again, I do not know. Too long I've been gone. 4 white walls and a worried mind, that's all I have. That's all. And when I need someone to talk to, I just say, hello wall. Too long I've been gone. 4 winds blow the breeze, wipe my tears away. They say you're fine. And when the world seems so far away, I've got nothing left except my mind. Too long I've been gone. Too long I've been gone. Thank you. Another song I've been singing a lot recently that's is actually going to be a part of my next upcoming record. You know, Saranac Lake, they cleared me out of CDs, but I have a one sheet for my next upcoming album that's going to be coming out at the end of March. And as Laura mentioned before, it's going to be through Smithsonian Folkways, and it's an album on black cowboys, and it's focused on the stories and the songs of the African American pioneers who helped settle the West many years ago. Thank you. And I was fortunate to be able to get it on to the African American Legacy series, which is in conjunction with the National Museum of African American History and Culture out in Washington, D.C. And so it's a great honor to have this album there. And so basically how I got into this particular story was I was traveling out west. You know, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona originally, and I lived in North Carolina a long time. And to go from North Carolina to Phoenix, it's one turn, you know. You get on I-40 and you can take that west all the way from the edge of North Carolina all the way to California. You know, it's the old Route 66. And so you just get to Flagstaff, Arizona, and then you cut down into Phoenix. And so one of the times I was traveling through, I crossed past the painted desert out in New Mexico, and I had came across this little gift shop, and there was a book called The Negro Cowboys there. And it was a book that said that about 1 in every 4 cowboys who settled the West was an African-American cowboy. And I thought that was a big number for having never seen many cowboys and cowboy movies and various popular culture. And especially in Arizona, you can't get away from cowboys. It's cowboys everywhere. You know, and that's where we got the Tombstone, which is where Wyatt Earp and all those guys, they had the gunfight at OK Corral. You know, and so I started just researching into the subject, and I found one particular story of a fellow named Nat Love, who was a cowboy that then became a Pullman porter as the railroad lines came in. And that was very poignant to me because my first introduction to Pullman porters was through the civil rights movement of the 40s and 50s, because the Pullman porters, you know, they were in such good standing socially with the general mainstream culture of America that they helped Martin Luther King Jr., you know, organize the bus boycotts and many of the different pieces of the civil rights movement that helped create a more perfect union, as they say, you know. We're still working on it. It's just, yeah, but it was, you know, that was a step along the way 100 years ago so the Pullman porters, and to know that they were connected with the black cowboys was something that was very poignant to me as a very modern story instead of it being a very ancient story from way, way back, you know. And one thing that really knocked me out was Nat Love worked on a ranch in a town called Holbrook, Arizona, in northern Arizona. And the reason I know about it is my grandfather, my father's father, he was called by God after moving from Texas and becoming a preacher. He went to Flagstaff to follow the sawmill work, but he was called by God to go to Holbrook, Arizona, which is of such a small town that I like to say it this way. Now, there's a song that everybody's probably heard at one point or another, a jazz standard called Get Your Kicks on Route 66. Anybody heard that song? Now, halfway through the bridge, they talk about northern Arizona just for a little bit, because they have a spot that says, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, and San Bernardino. And see, Holbrook's between Winona and Flagstaff, so they forgot Holbrook, you see. So just so you got a sense of Holbrook there. And so I got to thinking about all these different stories, and I ended up writing this one number here, one called Steel Pony Blues. It goes a little something like this here. When you get down to Holbrook, you won't find me there. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Getting far too old to follow this here herd. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Now they call me Mr. Flemons, 'cause I'm a pool porter now. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Go ahead and ride that train, Six. Now they call me Mr. Flemons, 'cause I done told that guitar down. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Now when you get over there, you won't find me. Till I call my steel pony, and boys, I'm gonna ride it one more time, Six. Now another song that became a cornerstone for the album was one called Goodbye Old Paint. And this is one that was recorded for the Library of Congress many years ago in the late 1940s from a musician by the name of Jess Morris. And he always made sure to tell the story about how he learned it from an ex-slave by the name of Charlie Willis. And now it's a standard of the cowboy repertoire, you know. And so one of the things that people ask, you know, they say, well, was there no discrimination out west? And that would be a stretch, you know. But, you know, it was a situation, though, where it was hard enough work and there weren't quite enough people to where, you know, there was one black cowboy, Bones Hooks, that mentioned, he said, you know, any man who had the nerve to abuse me on the range, I knew he wasn't going to be there that long. Because the thing is, you could choose to help your neighbor or not help your neighbor in a time of need. And so with not that many people in the grand scheme of things, it led to a slightly different social situation where everybody had to work together. You know, there weren't just black cowboys, there were Mexican vaqueros, which are the original cowboys, and then there were also Native American cowboys. But that's a whole other story, you know, you'd have to get into that part of the history. And, but Goodbye Old Paint's a song that sort of is halfway between a ballad and a blues in some sort of way, but I'm going to let you all hear it here real quick so you can assess that. A little bit of Goodbye Old Paint.
Farewell,
to the girl that loves me. Old paint, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. Goodbye, old paint, I am leaving Cheyenne. 'Cause old paint's an old pony, and she paces when she can. Now we spread down the blankets on the green grassy ground, and the horse and the cattle were all grazing all around. Old paint, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. Goodbye, old paint, I am leaving Cheyenne. 'Cause old paint's an old pony, and she paces when she can. Now the last time I saw her, it was late in the fall. She was riding old paint and leading old ball. Old paint, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. Goodbye, old paint, I am leaving Cheyenne. 'Cause old paint's an old pony, and she paces when she can. Old paint had a coat on the Rio Grande, and the colt couldn't pace, so we named her Cheyenne. Old paint, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. Goodbye, old paint, I am leaving Cheyenne. 'Cause old paint's an old pony, and she paces when she can. Now my foot's in the stirrup, and the bridle's in my hand. Oh, fair ladies, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. By my little Donny, my pony won't stand. Farewell, fair ladies, I'm a leaving Cheyenne. By my little Donny, my pony won't stand. Goodbye, my little Donny, my pony won't stand. Goodbye, my little Donny, my pony won't stand. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me see where I'm at on all right. I want to make sure I get as much music as I possibly can get in here. So I'm going to do a real short one here. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure so far. How you doing out there? All right. I'm going to do one more short little number from the Cowboy record here, and then we're going to take a little break. Now, as mentioned before, Saranac Lake, these folks just cleaned me out. I just, when you travel by plane, you always try to figure out how not to go overweight on stuff. But I wish I had known. I would have brought tons more, but I didn't. Yeah, I do. Well, next time around. I heard now that you're going to have direct flights from D.C., so I'm going to be coming back a lot easier than this time around. So next time around, But please make sure to either pick up, while supplies last, some of the LPs I have available, and also the DVDs. I have some DVDs with Stephen Grossman's Guitar Workshop. You can also find the stuff on my website. I have business cards over there, so please make sure to at least pick those up so you can keep up with my adventures as I'm going across the world and all over the country. And then also I have a one sheet for the new record, the Black Cowboys record, which will be out at the end of March. So please swing by, and even if you don't pick nothing up, as we're finishing up this program, it'd be great to shake every single one of your hands and say hello at least. So I'm going to do this last bit here. We'll take a little break and be back with a little more music. That sound all right? All right. So this is a... this.
Walk around with a bucket. Half the money goes to Dom.
All right.
And half the money goes to PB&J for the future concerts.
All right. Bucket list, people.
Change, whatever you got. Thank you.
And so this one here is a song that when I first heard it, it wasn't classified as a cowboy number. It was a field holler. It was recorded by a woman by the name of Vera Ward Hall. And it's a song called The Wild Ox Moan. And once I started really listening to the words on it, I thought this would make a great cowboy number. So this is one here, The Wild Ox Moan. It's also known as Black Woman. Well, come here, black woman. And sit on Daddy's knee. Well, I've got something to tell you, pretty mama. Don't you holler, Lordy. Well, I'm going back to Texas. To hear that wild ox moan. And if this moaning don't suit me, black woman, I'm gonna drive my bell cow home. Don't your kitchen feel lonesome? When your biscuit roller's gone. We'll see you in a moment, folks. Now this next one here, folks, is an apology for, actually, because a lot of people ask me, because I play several instruments, they say, what don't you play? And fiddle, that's the easy answer, for sure. If you've ever been around someone that's learning the fiddle or tried to learn fiddle yourself, you know exactly what I mean. But thankfully I picked up the harmonica before. Fiddle tried to take me over. It didn't happen. So I just keep on with the harmonica, and I still play a couple of fiddle tunes, like this one here. This was recorded by the great Eck Robertson many years ago, and this is a song called There's a Brown-Skinned Girl Down the Road Somewhere. Actually, no, I think I'm going to keep on with this, my first notion with this next one. You know, as I mentioned before, you know, being linked with the Museum of African American History and Culture, I was there at the opening ceremonies, not the last fall, but the fall before that, and got to share the stage with some wonderful people, including the Snicked Freedom Singers. And I was on the Gil Scott Heron stage, and I was right in front of the Washington Monument. And I tried to think to myself, what would be a way that I could have a song that would be poignant for the occasion. And I decided I had to go to Leadbelly, Hughie Ledbetter. I had to go straight to him to be able to get the right stuff, you know? And this is a little medley of songs that I put together of Leadbelly. And one's called Poor Howard's Dead and Gone. And it's a song that Leadbelly said was the first song sung by the first Negro fiddler freed from slavery. And then the second song is one called Gwana Dig a Hole to Put the Devil In. And it's a song of social disobedience, but I found I don't need to translate that much anymore. But I'll play a little bit of these two songs for you and give a little tribute to that wonderful songster, Leadbelly.
devil in. Blind dig a hole, bless my soul. Put the devil in, put the devil in. Fiddler's dram, fiddler's dram. Fiddler's dram, fiddler's dram. Don't give a damn, don't give a damn, don't give a damn, don't give a damn. Ah, Lord, boys, don't give a damn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, folks. You know, let me get you a little blues here while I got the notion right now. I'm gonna play you. This is a song I arranged of the great Ma Rainey many years ago. And this is a song called Yonder Comes the Blues.
I worry all day, I worry all night. Every time my gal come home, she wanna fuss and fight. When I pick up the paper to read the news, that's when I'm satisfied. Yonder come their blues. I went down to the river each and every day, trying to keep from crying and give myself away. I walked and I walked till I wore out my shoes. I can't walk no further. Yonder come their blues. Folks have different blues, they think they're mighty sad, but the blues about a woman the worst I've ever had. Now I've been disgusted and all confused. Every time I turn around, yonder come their blues. Goldback blues don't come this way. Lordy, give me something else beside the blues always. When I get a letter, it never brings good news. Every time I see the mailman, yonder come their blues.
Oh, please, 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 Mr. Postman. Now talk it real slow, Six. Talk real slow. see if I can, actually, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a special thing tonight here. I'm gonna break out one more tuning here. If you give me just a moment to get into it, it'll, I had someone request James Alley Blues. Now, if you're not familiar with this song, it's a song that was featured on the Anthology of American Folk Music on Smithsonian Folkways Records. And Rabbit Brown was an obscure New Orleans songster who made only 5 recordings. And I specialize in all 5 of them. And so I spent about 6 or 7 years figuring out how to make this song sound right, this one, James Alley Blues, and I came up with a special tuning. And this one goes out to my man who was chatting it up with me a little bit earlier about James Alley Blues, because this is one of my favorite blues lyrics of all time, and it has some of the best stuff that blues can have, which is heartbreaking lyrics that are also extremely hilarious. And what was interesting about James Alley Blues is that Rabbit Brown didn't record any other songs like it. He just recorded this one. So he's another one of those mysteries that there's no telling what his repertoire might have been. The other songs he recorded a ballad about the Titanic, one about a kidnapping in Opelousas, Louisiana. Then he had 2 funny songs. One song was Never Let the Same Bee That Stung You Sting You Twice. And then another one called I'm Not Jealous, I Just Don't Like It, That's All. If we get together another day, I'll do my whole Rabbit Brown set for you. But I'll do James Alley Blues nevertheless. So here's a little bit of James Alley Blues. I can't help but think about Louisiana with this guitar that the great Kenny Neal suggested that Laura get this one.
Now times ain't now nothing like they used to be. Oh, times ain't now nothing like they used to be. Now tell the truth, oh, take it from me. I done seen better days, but I ain't putting up with these. I done seen better days, I'm putting up with these. I'd have a much better time if these girls weren't so hard to please. But I was born in the country, she thinks I'm easy to rule. But I was born in the country, she thinks I'm easy to rule. She wanna hitch me to a wagon, she wanna drive me like a mule. So I bought the groceries and I paid the rent. Though I bought all the groceries and I paid the rent. Try to make me wash her clothes, but I've got good common sense. Says if you don't want me, why don't you tell me so? Said if you don't want me, why don't you tell me so? 'Cause it ain't like a man ain't got nowhere to go. How do you want me to love you when you treat me mean? How do you want me to love you? You keep on treating me mean. You're my daily thought and my nightly dream. Been give you sugar for sugar, let you get salt for salt. Been giving you sugar for sugar, let you get salt for salt. And if you can't get along with me, then it's your own fault. Sometimes I think you're too sweet to die. Sometimes I think you're too sweet to die. And other times I think you ought to be buried alive.
I hadn't played that one in a while. Thanks so much for requesting that one, man. Now, one final blues number I'll play for you is, this is one that I ended up writing for the Cowboy record about a dynamic individual of the West. He wasn't a cowboy necessarily, but he was the first black U.S. Marshal in history. His name was Bass Reeves, and he was known to be the basis for the fictional character, the Lone Ranger. And so I'm going to sing you a little bit of Bass Reeves' story here.
Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name. There was a man way out west, rode around this country with a star on his breast. Every white man and Indian tribe knew he was the baddest man that ever was alive, 'cause he's a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name. Broad-shouldered and 6 feet tall, rode a sorrel that could outrun 'em all. Master of a pistol, master of disguise, looked every man he caught now dead in the eyes, 'cause he's a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name. Born a slave down in Arkansas, lived with his master and his dear old ma. Mama said, son, you ain't free, but you can do anything you want, though, if the mister don't see. Now he's a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name. I'll tell you one other thing. Master called Bass Reeves to a gambling game. Bass's freedom was the stake that he made. Now Master cheated, you ought to heard the sound of Bass's hoof beats as Master hit the ground. Now he's a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name. Hear Bass Reeves break into song, getting down to business and it won't be long. Now whether in Muskogee, 100 miles around, they call him Bass Reeves. He's bound to track you down, 'cause he's a U.S. Marshal and a Lone Ranger. He is a Lone Ranger. Bass Reeves is his name.
Thank you, folks. Well, now I'm going to do another banjo breakdown for you here real quick. Now, this is a... Actually, you know what? I'll play one of the old favorites for you, years ago, I used to play this one a whole bunch. It was about 15 years ago. I found an LP from Yazoo Records called Fat Mouth Blues. And it was by a musician by the name of Papa Charlie Jackson. And at the very last track, a side one, so to listen to this one, to learn the song, I had to find that one little track right on the inside rung of that first side of the record. I played it over and over again. It was a little song called Your Baby Ain't Sweet Like Mine. And it's a, some of you can relate, And it's a song I've carried with me all over the world. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Now, this is another one that I've kept in my repertoire for a while. When I first found out that there were African-American string bands, I figured I should learn a song that comes from one of those original field recordings, and this is one of them that I picked up. This is from the great recordings of John Work III, who worked at a Fisk University. He was a third-generation black ethnomusicologist. And, his family helped revive the Fisk Jubilee Singers after their first initial run in the 1860s. They started them up in the early 20th century. But John Work III was a very important fellow because he focused on what they called non-blues secular black music, meaning, it's a mouthful of a term, but, secular music in the black community that wasn't just blues, because blues has ended up becoming the dominant black folk music, even though there's a wide spectrum of different folk styles, and so banjo music's a part of all that. And so this is one that was recorded by two musicians, Nathan Frazier and Frank Patterson, and the song's called Po' Black Sheep. Aw, lammy, po' black sheep ain't got no mammy, and it goes a little something like this. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, folks, I got a short message from our sponsors here. Hold on, just give me a moment here to get my accoutrement on. How you folks doing out there so far? All right. Again, y'all have been great. It's been just a wonderful time being here. You know, wonderful time in Plattsburgh, and you know, again, I'm hoping that direct flight helps me out next time around. It was very, and you know, actually, yeah, Laura reminded me that I will actually be back in the fall. I'll be at Hobo Fest. We've just confirmed Hobo Fest, so I'll be back in the fall. And what? So this message from my sponsor. This afternoon I was on the podcast program over on northvolume.com on the Lowell Show with Lowell Worster, and now I want to bring him up right now because we got to talking about percussion, and you know he's a wonderful rub board player, and so we're going to play a couple of numbers together. How's that sound for you folks? And now this next song is a little bit of hokum nonsense here from Georgia Tom Dorsey and Tampa Red. One called But They Got It Fixed. Right on. How you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. All right, let's see if we can get it. 1, 2, 1, 2, hey.
Gal with a pole and a boy named Jim. He liked her and she liked him. Both broke down in a country bar, but they didn't get home until after dark. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody knows what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. A man with a peg leg and a gal named Sue broke his peg leg half in two. Only way that they could fix the leg was to get this gal take a hold of the peg. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Cause there's one thing when you go to eat, bread's no good without the meat. I followed my gal to the store one day and I found her giving her bread away. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. A man came home cause he felt kinda queer. He knocked on the front door, run to the rear. He called up the cop until the very next day somebody had took the back door away. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Go ahead, Lowell. Yeah, man. Get one more, man. Get it. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt, yeah. Mark knows what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Now a gal walked into the baker shop, selling donuts and lollipops. Preacher come in for to save a soul, and she asked him to fix her jelly roll. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Now another gal walked into the butcher shop, grabbed the butcher's big ham hock. Butcher knocked her right off her feet. She missed his bone, but she got his meat. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Now the monkey and the polecat made a deal to discuss the subject of sex appeal. Skunk won the argument right or wrong, cause his sex appeal was much too strong. But they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody know what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. Skittle on the deep on the scalp with the skeet skeet skittle the doom dom skeet skeet scoodle on skittle bomb the deep on the skeet scott skittle on the skeet bomb bomb dom skittle bomb skittle bomb skittle bomb skittle scoodle the deedle skeet scott and skittle on the skeet by beat dom and they got it fixed right on. All right. Well, you mind doing another one with me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to do a little bit of Piedmont picking on this next one here and play a little of an old Blind Boy Fuller number that I picked up from the great songster Boo Hanks, who I got to work with for about 10 years and passed away a couple years ago at 88 years old. I worked with him through the wonderful Music Maker Relief Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that helps out traditional Southern artists. And he taught me this little Blind Boy Fuller number. And he had this little way of doing it that I'm going to show it to you now. Keep on trucking, mama, trucking my blues away. And that was sort of his philosophy of life. So a little bit of keep on trucking. Let's go ahead and get it. 1, 2.
I got a gal in New Orleans. Yes, do. I got a gal in New Orleans. I got a gal in New Orleans. She cooks them hocks and collard greens. Keep on trucking, mama. Trucking my blues away. Oh, yeah. Trucking my blues away. So I say, keep on trucking, mama. Trucking my blues away. Keep on trucking, baby. Every night and day. I got a gal that's little and low. Says she love me, but she don't know more. Keep on trucking, baby. Trucking my blues away, oh yeah. Trucking my blues away. Now keep on trucking, baby. Trucking my blues away. Keep on trucking, mama. Every night and day. I got a gal that's little and low. Says she love me, but she don't know more. Keep on trucking, baby. Trucking my blues away, oh yeah. Trucking my blues away. Go on now. Yeah, man, keep on. Oh, Worcester, folks. Ba-da-dee-da-da-da, ska-la-da-da-da. Ba-beat, scooter-dee-bone, ska-la-da-dee-da-da-dee. Scra-la-da-dee-bone, ska-ba-dee-lo, wa-ba-dee-lo-lee-lee-lee-dee. Scra-da-bo-be-dee-do, ba-da-la-da-da-da, oh yeah. Wa-ba-be-da-da. Let's see if I can get one. I keep on trucking, baby, trucking my blues away. Keep on trucking, mama, every night and day. I got a gal that's little and low. Says she love me, but she don't know more. Keep on trucking, baby, trucking my blues away. Oh yeah, trucking my blues away. Now, folks, now I want to keep the fun going, and let's expand the band a little bit more. Let's bring Roy Hurd, and also let's get Jim up here. Oh yeah! It's been a wonderful night of music, hasn't it, folks? And Jim, your last name's Hardin? Hartnett. Okay, that's all right. At first, for some reason, I thought they said Tim Hardin, and I was like, wait a second. If I listen long enough. No, but Jim Hardin.
I wish it were.
Let's see, got my... Well, I'm going to back up Johnny on this one a little bit, and then Johnny Roy, and play one of his numbers, Johnny Loves Trains. Where am I singing? Over here? Anywhere you want, man. All right.
1, 2, Terrors.
All right.
Johnny loves trains, the rumble, the rattle. Hear the whistle blow, Johnny skedaddle. He run through the field just to see the blue steel roll by. Like that whistle's calling his name, he can't help it. Johnny loves trains. Blow, whistle, blow, steel rail roll on by. Blow, whistle, blow. One day he's gonna ride. That's the whistle. Like that, we're calling his name. He can't help it. Johnny loves train. 90 dreams, he's an engineer. Is this on? At night he dreams, can you hear that? We good? There it is. At night he dreams, he's an engineer, hand on the throttle through the northern tier, a non-stop Amtrak bound for Montreal. Late night whistles, low refrain, helps him sleep. Johnny loves trains. Blow, whistle, blow, steel rail roll on by. Blow. One day he's gonna ride. So the clickety-clack is like music playing his favorite song. Johnny loves train.
Let's give it up for all these wonderful guests here. Roy Hurd, Jim Hartman, and of course, Lowell Worster right there. Now, and make sure to check out the podcast. We had a very wonderful interview talking about a lot of different parts of the blues. Now, folks, I got time for just a couple more for you this evening. It's been a real pleasure playing for you all. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Now, what instrument do you want me to play the next song on? I'm going to give you one to choose, and then I got one more for an ender. Do you want a guitar song or a banjo song? Banjo it is. Wait, did someone say the Green Hornet? No, I don't do that one. You'd have to call me Shorty if I played the trombone, but you can't do that. Now I'm going to play a little one here that, actually, I guess this is a tribute to Hobo Fest, which I'm going to be back for in the fall. A little song about hobos, one called Milwaukee Blues from Charlie Poole and his North Carolina Ramblers.
Tuesday morning, it looked like rain around the curb. There was trying to get home, trying to get home, just trying to get home. He's a good old hobo and he's trying to get home. Way down in Georgia on a tramp, the roads get muddy and the leaves get damp. Gotta get the freight train to leave this town, 'cause they don't allow no hobos hanging around, hanging around, hanging around. They don't allow no hobos hanging around. I left Atlanta one Tuesday 4 days. The brakeman said you'll have to pay. Got no money but upon the shoes. I'm going out west. I got the Milwaukee Blues, Milwaukee Blues, Milwaukee Blues. Now I'm going out west. I got the Milwaukee Blues. Now old Bill said that before he died, clear the road so the bows can ride. When they ride the rods. They put all their trust in the hands of God, hands of God, hands of God. They put all their trust in the hands of God. Now old Bill said that before he died, there's two old roads he'd like to ride. Old Bill, what can they be? It's the Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe, Santa Fe, Santa Fe. It's Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got time for just one more for you this evening. And it's been, again, a great pleasure to be here in Plattsburgh. And I'll see you all in the fall. And now, what I can do, though, I know supplies were limited, and they're just about gone now on the table. But what I can recommend is there are still business cards left. So please make sure you pick up a business card. Don't cost you a thing. Also, I got the one sheet for the new album, so make sure to pick that up. You know, I'm very proud of it. It took me about 2 years to put it together. It was probably one of the longer times it's taken for me to put an album together. Just never had the time to really put a lot of time into the records. You just had to make sure they were good. And, you know, so just if you get a chance, check out that little one sheet there. That also don't cost you a thing. And hopefully we'll see you again down the road. This last one here is one called Till the Seas Run Dry. Again, it's been a pleasure to be here. My name is Don Flemons, the American songster. Thank you all again.
Scapiti-ba-doo-bee. Scapiti-ba-ding. Ba-la-di-da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Ka-la-di-da-do-wa-ba-da-da-do-wa. save. Too late, seem that we've run out of time. Though I'll always remember the love we shared. Gotta get you, baby, off my mind. Now get away, I'm never gonna take you back. Not till the clocks run backwards and the seas run dry. You treated me like a fool and oh so cruel. But too late, baby, to try me one more time. Yeah! Great pleasure to be here. I'll make it back to Plattsburgh soon. And I'm going to hit it one more time before I call it quits. I'm ready. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. I got nowhere to go, so I might as well do one more for you. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to play a song that's over 100 years old, and I've been playing this one for more than 10 years now. It's a song called He's in the Jailhouse Now. Singing a vote for the man who paid the biggest price. Next day at the polls, he voted with heart and soul, but instead of voting once, he voted twice. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Now instead of him staying at home, letting all them rich folk business alone, he's in the jailhouse now. You remember Henry Crew? He sold that no good brew. He sold it to the police on the beat. Now Henry's feeling funny, cause the police give him marked money. He's got a ball and chain around his feet. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Now he's got a political friend. The judge's sentence he will suspend. He's in the jailhouse now. liked to roam around, flirted with every gal in town, till he flirted with Benny's wife. Benny cut him in the face, ain't that a disgrace? Now he's jailhouse bound. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Now Benny was his friend, but a razor blade let that matter end. He's in the jailhouse now. Now son was walking down the street, a little chick he chanced to meet. He went to every cabaret in town, bought lots of liquor. Trouble's gotten thicker, 'cause he thought he was in it, 'cause he was buying a drink a minute. Now that boy is jailhouse bound. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. And he went down saying, I'm in the jailhouse now. I'm in the jailhouse now. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You have a great night, everybody. Thank you again.